The Alien Next Door, Chapters 5 and 6. Chapter 5, Science Lab. The next day at school, Zeke felt bored. Well, that didn't take long, he thought. I always get so worried about starting a new school, but in this place, everything they do is so simple. If I can't be home, I wish I were back on Charbok. Charbok was the last planet Zeke's family had researched. At least their kids could do cool stuff, like teleport from place to place and control the weather with their minds. It was a very interesting planet. Not like Earth, Zeke thought as he entered the science lab. Okay, class, today's experiment is all about colors, said Mr. Mills, the science teacher. We are going to combine certain colors to create other colors. In front of you are red, green, yellow, and blue solutions. Experiment to see how combining the colors change them into new ones. Zeke combined yellow and blue to make green. He combined blue and red to make purple. Then he mixed red and yellow to make orange. He was the first one in the class to finish. Zeke glanced over at Harris and Roxy. They were still combining colors, but Harris was also staring at him. Why does Harris keep staring at me like that? Zeke wondered. Could he actually suspect that I'm not from this planet? As the other kids worked with the base colors, Zeke got an idea. This could be fun, he thought. He combined all the solutions in one glass beaker. Then he grabbed the beaker with both hands. He sent vibrations from his hands into the glass, and the colors inside the beaker began to swirl. A few seconds later, Zeke had created a twirling rainbow right inside his beaker. He glanced toward Roxy and Harris. Roxy saw the rainbow and smiled. Wow, that is so cool! But Harris' eyes opened wide. How did you do that, Zeke? Asked Harris. That's impossible. What's impossible? Asked Mr. Mills. He walked over to Zeke's table and saw the rainbow spinning in the beaker. Actually, Harris, it is not impossible, said Mr. Mills. There is a chemical you can add to your colors that will make that happen. Harris frowned. Then Mr. Mills turned to Zeke. However, Zeke, that chemical is kept in a drawer labeled Do Not Open, Mr. Mills explained. I admire your curiosity and inventiveness, but please do not open any drawers without permission. There are some dangerous things in there. Zeke couldn't admit that he didn't use any chemicals, and he just used powers. He stayed quiet. His parents were very clear about revealing his powers to anyone on Earth. Unlike Charbok, Earth has not yet made contact with anyone outside of Earth. His father had said on their journey to their new planet, you must never reveal your powers to anyone there. The bell rang, ending science lab. As they left the room, Harris looked at Zeke and shook his head. What if he finds out I'm an alien? Zeke thought. I could ruin my parents' entire mission here. Zeke walked from the lab. This is going to be a long school year, he thought. Chapter 6, Mom and Dad. After school, Harris and Roxy walked home together. You know, I don't think we've been very welcoming to Zeke, said Roxy. Just because he's different from you doesn't mean he isn't nice. I still think he's strange, Harris said. Well, I like him, said Roxy. Is that why you don't like him? I can be friends with both of you, you know. That's not it, said Harris. I've just seen him do some crazy stuff. And all of what you call crazy stuff has a logical explanation, said Roxy. I just think you're looking for reasons to not like Zeke. Roxy turned into her block. Harris kept walking. He thought about what Roxy had said, then he shrugged it off. That evening at dinner, Harris's parents asked him about Zeke. How is that new boy doing? Asked his mom. I hope you are trying to make friends with him, added his dad. I don't know, said Harris. He does all kinds of strange stuff. He even balanced on his fingertips like the aliens in that movie, Dad. Harris, come on, said his dad. You're too old to not know the difference between movies and real life. No, Dad, it's real, Harris insisted. I'm telling you the truth. Remember how much trouble you had making friends when you started at Jefferson until you met Roxy? Asked his mom. I would hope that you would be extra nice to new kids who are trying to fit in. But, Mom, I'm sure that if you take the time to get to know Zeke, you'll discover that he's just a normal kid like you, Mom said. He might be different, but there's no reason not to be his friend. Harris went to his room after dinner and started his homework. But again, he had trouble concentrating. Everyone is telling me that I'm wrong, but I know I'm not. I'm going to prove once and for all that Zeke is an alien.